the global news on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Governor Diri wants review of revenue derivation formula. Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu receives Prince Harry, Meghan Markle. Court convicts woman for forging late Abba Kyari's signature. Tinubu advises CBN to suspend cybersecurity levy. Lord Cameron okays ban on arms sale to Israel. NFF to present Finidi at media session Monday. Jamarie launches empowerment anthem Commando to celebrate women. Now the news in details. Bayelsa State Governor Toye Diri is calling for a review of the country's revenue derivation formula in line with the practical of fiscal federalism. Diri, who queried the existing practice where resource-endowed states in Nigeria, particularly in the Niger Delta, get a paltry 13% as derivation for their resources, maintained the country's lopsided federalism practice had hindered the development of states. He disclosed this in Houston, Texas, when Ijos in the United States of America and Canada conferred on him the award of Icon of Unity and Social Justice organized by the Ijaw National Congress, INC Americas. While receiving the award, Diri appreciated the organizers for upholding the Ijaw tradition and culture even in the diaspora. A statement issued by his chief press secretary, Daniel Alabra, the governor admonished the Ijaw ethnic nationality not to get tired of its leadership role in the Niger Delta while enlisting the support of other ethnic groups in the region and urged them not to allow the fire of Ijaw nationalism that has been ignited to be extinguished and ensure that the annual event was sustained while promising the support of his administration. Joint Military Task Force Operation Delta Safe has destroyed at least 50 illegal refining sites within the Beseni Forest in Yenegua local government area in Bayelsa State. The Commander Rear Admiral John Okeke, who led the operation, said illegal refining of stolen crude oil was taking place in each of the sites after the team discovered a large pit capable of accommodating 10 trucks of alternative gas oil known as diesel. This is coming after the Joint Task Force had severally warned against illegal oil businesses in the area and reiterated its commitment to fight the menace. According to him, oil theft and illegal refining of crude oil had become a huge source of worry in the region and called on the public to always support the task force with credible information to track down illegal oil refiners. Delta State Police Command has arrested a 24-year-old Favor Eze for being in possession of one locally made pistol and hard drugs suspected to be loud, and the item were concealed in a bag of clothes. The suspect was traveling from Asaba to Warri with other passengers in a red commercial Toyota Sienna Space van when he was arrested by police operatives who were conducting a stop and search along Ogwashiu-Kukwale Road, and the police intercepted the vehicle, conveying the passengers. Delta State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Bright Edafe, confirmed the development in a statement signed, adding that the suspect was arrested alongside the exhibits. Suspected armed men dressed in military uniform have allegedly invaded the Mbiang Ukwa community in Udokmani local government area of Cross River State, killing 5 elderly people and destroyed several houses. Witnesses claim the armed invaders, who came from the distant Isu community in Ihechiowa local government area of Abia State, allegedly kidnapped a number of young men who resisted them. But police authorities in the state said they were not aware of the attack, while Irene Ugbo, PPRO, said the matter has not been reported to the police. A community leader of Ukwa Igbom Efik Ebuturu Okono Diong Ekpenyong Esu, who signed a statement in Calabar on Sunday, said the invasion was not the first time and the suspects have been mining the limestone in their community and attempting to grab their land. In a reaction, the chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria in the local government area, Williams Bassi, in a statement condemned the attack and called for swift government intervention. Anambra State Government, through the Operation Clean and Healthy Task Force, has sealed hotels and other business premises over environmental pollution and disobedience to court summons. The managing director of the brigade, Celestine Anire, who led the enforcement team, said the action was necessitated by the flagrant disobedience to environmental laws by some hotels and leisure center operators in the state, adding that the enforcement was due to a public outcry over the environmental state of the areas where the businesses are located. He also said the issue of disobeying environmental laws has become a perennial problem that is posing a serious threat to the sanity of the environment and the ecosystem in general. The sealing of the premises came after weeks of court notices served by the agency and the Ministry of Environment on them. Unknown gunmen have reportedly killed 3 police officers, including Federal Road Safety Corps personnel, in separate attacks in Enugu State. Eyewitness said the gunmen had attacked a police division in Umabo Oha Alumona on Saturday night, killing 2 policemen, while in another separate attack, the gunmen also earlier attacked HRH Igwe Patrick Eze, also known as Igwe Waziri, at Oba in Udenu local government area of the state. Igwe Waziri is the traditional ruler of Igali Amala community in Udenu local government area, and the gunmen killed a police officer and an FRSC personnel, while Igwe Waziri escaped. The Enugu State Police Command spokesperson, DSP Daniel Ndukwe, is yet to speak on the matter. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu received the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle today. The British royal couple was received by Sanwo-Olu, his wife, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, and some members of the State Executive Council during a courtesy visit at Lagos House Marina. A statement signed by the governor's special advisor on media and publicity, Boyega Akosile, said Prince Harry, who was accompanied by his wife Meghan, is on a 3-day visit to Nigeria to promote the Invictus Games, which he founded in 2014. The Invictus Games are aimed at raising funds and supporting serving members of the military as well as veterans to overcome their physical and mental illnesses, which would help them develop a sense of belonging and increased self-esteem. Sanwo-Olu lauded them for the work they were doing with the nation's military men, especially on issues around mental health. Ekiti State Government says it has commenced the second phase of disbursement of a 400 million naira grant to 922 micro and small enterprises in the state to alleviate and mitigate financial constraints and other economic challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. The State Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Tayo Adiola, said in a statement in Ado-Ekiti that the disbursement being carried out under the Ekiti State COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus followed Governor Biodun Oyebanji's approval of the grants to the qualified MSEs in the state. Adiola urged the beneficiaries to use the grant for their intended purpose, assuring that Oyebanji remained committed to his administration's shared prosperity agenda by fostering a conducive business environment and supporting local enterprises in the state. This is coming after the Ekiti State Government in October 2022 had disbursed 45 million naira grant from the Social Investment Program to promote the growth of SMEs to 100 small business owners in the state. The State Commissioner for Finance, Akinaye Bode, who represented Governor Kayode Fayemi, said that the program was designed to ease the financial hardships and other economic difficulties caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Human rights group Center for Human and Socio-Economic Rights is calling on the Ogun State Governor Dampo Abiodun to intervene in the Obaship tussle gripping Iperu Remo, his hometown in Ikene local government area of the state. The chairman of the local government, Segun Ogunleye, is alleged to be at the center of the tussle following his alleged resolve to impose one Olubenga Shumade as the next Akufon of Idarika Igberu Remo. Shumade is alleged not to be a member of the Igondanian royal family, which is expected to produce a successor to the throne of Akufon of Idarika Igberu Remo after the demise of Oba Mwibui Akinsaye on January 28, 2021. Speaking in Abeokuta, the president of the group, Alex Omoteyese, said that it is pertinent for Governor Abiodun to attend to the lingering crisis emanating from the kinship selection in Idarika Igberu Remo before things get out of hand. The human rights group has, however, called on Governor Abiodun, as the father of all, to rise to douse this tension before it generates a full-blown crisis. Suspected middle-aged woman Abike Olonade has been arrested for trafficking a 16-year-old student to Libya. It was reliably gathered that the victim, whose name is yet to be disclosed, is a student of Adere Lambo Secondary School in Ogbadaoko, a Werikoro local government area of Ogun State. Confirming the arrest, the command's spokesperson Omolola Odutola, in a statement in Abeokuta, said the suspect confessed to trafficking the victim to Libya. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has assured to secure the safe return of students of the Confluent University of Science and Technology, OSARA, who were abducted from the university campus last Thursday. Ododo, who disclosed this known when he visited the SUSTEC campus on assessment of the security situation in the wake of the security breach on the campus that led to the abduction of the students, said every necessary step, including non-kinetic measures, had been activated to ensure the safe return of the abducted students, while assuring members of the university community of efforts by the government to improve the existing security architecture on the campus. Ododo promised that he would do whatever it would take to return all the abducted students back to the university and to reunite them with their families and friends. Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Gwagwalada, Abuja, has convicted one Ramat Mercy Mba, a mother of 5, for forging the signature of former President Muhammadu Buhari's Chief of Staff, the late Abba Kyari. Justice Ibrahim Mohammed, however, deferred the sentencing of the convict till Thursday, 16th of May 2024, but directed that she should be remanded in Suleja Correctional Center. This is coming after the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission had arraigned Mba in June 2022 on a 5-count charge bordering on cheating, fraud and forgery, contrary to Section 13 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 200 and Section 320B 366 of the Penal Code Cap 89 laws of Northern Nigeria. In the course of the trial, ICPC's prosecutor, Hamza Sani, led evidence before the court on how the convict dishonestly induced her victims in the guise of securing employment for them with government agencies like Federal Inland Revenue Services, National Space Research Development Agency, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, while the documentary evidence tendered showed that the convict fraudulently forged the letterhead paper of the Office of the Chief of Staff to former President Muhammad Buhari, Abba Kyari, and his signature. The letter addressed to the chairman of ICPC was a request for the recruitment of 3 individuals by the Commission and the late Chief of Staff. In a written correspondence that was also tendered in court as exhibit, distanced himself or his office for authorizing the letter. In his judgment, Justice Ibrahim Mohammed convicted the mother of 5 counts of 1, 2, 3, and 5 that deal on cheating and forgery, while she was discharged on count 4 that deals with felony. Aisha Saudu has been brutally killed by a suspected kidnapper because she recognized him in Makafi local government area of Kaduna State. The perpetrator, identified as Abdulaziz Idris in Makafi local government area, confessed to the heinous crime, admitting to slaying the innocent child by brutally slashing her neck with a razor blade, on the account that she recognized him when and then went on to dispose her lifeless body in a well. The police public relations officer, Kaduna State Police Command, Mansir Hassan, in a statement said Saidu Dahiru, father of the victim, a resident of Angwan Juma, Zaria, reported to the Zaria City Police Station that his daughter, Aisha Saidu, a 6-year-old female, went missing on her way to Islamia school. The statement explained that according to Dahiru, Aisha was allegedly abducted by her cousin, brother Abdulaziz Idris, also residing in Angwan, Jumar, Zaria. The Police Commissioner of Police, CP Audu Ali Dabigi, assured members of the public that the case is going to be diligently investigated to ensure that justice is served for Aisha Saidu and her grieving family. All Progressives Congress Galadima Ward in Gusau local government area of Zamfara State has removed the state party chairman Tukur Maikatako over what they described as bad leadership during his tenure. Addressing journalists in Gusau on Saturday, the ward executive members said the decision to dismiss the state party chairman was because he could not lead the party in the state. Speaking on behalf of the executive members, the vice chairman of the party, Alhaji Gaba Bello, disclosed that 16 out of 27 executive members of the ward signed for Katako's dismissal from the party. However, the state's APC secretary, Alhaji Yusuf Idris, could not respond to several phone calls and a text message sent to him on the matter. An operation by combined security forces has resulted in the successful rescue of 17 abducted male passengers in the Sola General area of Batsari local government area in Katsina State. According to a credible military source, the operation followed a distress call and consequently the Nigerian Army Team 9 troops, in collaboration with the Katsina Police Command, State Community Watch Corps, special hunters and local hunters from Batsari swiftly mobilized and deployed to the scene. Upon arrival, the combined security forces engaged the violent extremists in a firefight and overwhelmed by the superior firepower of the security forces. The extremists abandoned their abductees and fled into the nearby bush. All the abducted passengers were successfully rescued and have been released to the officials of Batsari local government area. Bauchi State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board has expressed satisfaction with the readiness of the state's primary health care development agency to embark on pilgrims' vaccination against preventable diseases such as diphtheria, polio and measles. The executive secretary of the board, Imam Abdurrahman, expressed satisfaction when he visited the state medical store in Bauchi Specialist Hospital. According to a release signed by the information officer of the board, Mohammed Sani Yunusa, Abdurrahman was visibly happy over what he saw at the medical store and rescheduled the vaccination exercise, adding that the delay was due to hitches in the conveyance of the vaccine to the state. Nigeria Labour Congress says it has rejected any peace talks with the Julius Abure-led leadership of the Labour Party and will not back down on its plan to kick out the embattled national chairman. The deputy president of NLC Political Commission, Professor Theophilus Ndubaku, who disclosed this, said his position conflicted with an earlier argument by the National Publicity Secretary of Labour Party, Obiora Ifo, that they have commenced consultation with aggrieved stakeholders of the party in line with the request of their presidential candidate, Peter Obi. But Ndubaku said there was no going back on the union's decision to evict the embattled LP chairman, stressing that the agitation will continue even if a new leader takes over from the NLC president, Joe Ajaero. The closed-door convention was also saw all members of the National Working Committee return to office, but the slots for NLC and the Trade Union Congress were left vacant. According to Ndubaku, no sane Nigerian or lover of good governance who wants to dream of a new Nigeria will continue supporting Abure. National Human Rights Commission has declared 19,470 complaints over rights abuse in April 2024, with most of the reports involving government agents. The April 2024 Human Rights Assessment Dashboard released in Abuja showed that 5,259 complaints of rights abuse were filed against state actors, including government agents, as well as the police, the military, and other security agencies. The figure is the highest number of complaints recorded against a particular group in the April dashboard. In the same vein, a total of 2,877 complaints were received against non-state actors, while 1,063 reports were brought against private sector actors. Also, there were 110 complaints of violation of the right to life, while 136 complaints made by persons with disabilities. Leader of the third phase amnesty program, Tonye Bobo, is calling on the federal government to engage ex-agitators in the Niger Delta region into the military and federal agencies for gainful employment. Bobo, who spoke in Yanagua, said training ex-agitators without empowerment was a waste of time and resources, pointing out that there was need to integrate the agitators into the society, while the newly appointed administrator of the presidential amnesty program, Dr. Dennis Otuaro, argued that more needed to be done to train them and not to dump them, else they would become irrelevant. In his contribution, the national vice chairman of the third phase of the presidential amnesty program, Alhaji Letugmene, said they believe in the leadership of Otuaro as he was part of the struggle. Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Olanipekun Olukoyede, has called on compliance officers of banks across the country to desist from unauthorized disclosure of EFCC's investigations and requests from banks to their customers. Olukoyede, in a statement by Head of Media and Publicity, Dele Oyewale, in Ibadan, Oyo State, decried the unhealthy support fraudsters received from the banking sector in Nigeria, adding that it is posing considerable challenges and concerns to the Commission. The EFCC chairman made this call through the acting zonal director of the Ibadan Zonal Command of the agency, Hawa Ringim, during a stakeholders meeting with compliance officers of banks in Oyo State. He said the EFCC is aware of the fact that compliance officers give information to their clients regarding letters of investigation activities reaching to the banks from the EFCC, adding that the act usually jeopardizes the investigation exercise of financial crime and delays corruption cases from being filed before the law court. Olukoyede also urged them to always respond to letters received from the Commission with certified true copies, including instruments of transactions of beneficiaries or sources, as this will expedite the process of investigation to a logical conclusion, stressing that illegal dealings with trading in Naira with the point-of-sale operators must stop. Data from the World Health Organization has estimated that 138.9 million Nigerians require interventions against neglected tropical diseases. WHO said neglected tropical diseases are endemic in Nigeria, as it ranks first in the African region and second globally after India, adding that it serves as a diverse group of conditions of parasitic, bacterial, viral, fungal, and non-communicable origin, noting that there are more than 15 NDTs in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the federal government had in 2023 said it would eradicate neglected tropical diseases in the country by 2027. The director of the WHO Global Neglected Tropical Diseases Program, Dr. Ibrahima Fall, said with a renewed focus on strategic priorities addressing advocacy for action, there is urgent need for partnership, costing and accelerated implementation, as well as technical gaps, including research and development and leadership, to stem the tide of invasion. Defense headquarters are on private visit to Nigeria on the invitation of the Chief of Defense Staff in Abuja. The center is expected to be equipped with world-class facilities that would aid recovery of the wounded soldiers and offer them post-traumatic stress remedies as a result of trauma they might have experienced during operations. In his remarks, Prince Harry said the Invictus community was privileged to have Nigeria become the first African country to join it, saying the plans for the new Invictus Center made him become emotional, and commended the Nigerian government for its support for the construction of the center to support the servicemen and women in their path to rehabilitation and recovery, and in acknowledgement of their sacrifices. The Minister of Defense, Alhaji Mohammed Badru, thanked the Duke and Duchess for establishing the Invictus game and their concern for wounded heroes, adding that the support had given them the courage to continue to work and to continue to support the wounded, and the government would do its best to make them happy. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
Lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of our stories. Now to business news. President Bola Tinubu has advised the Central Bank of Nigeria to suspend the implementation of the controversial cybersecurity levy policy and ordered for a review. This followed the decision of the House of Representatives, which asked the CBN to withdraw its circular directing all banks to commence charging a 0.5% cybersecurity levy on all electronic transactions in the country. The CBN on May 6, 2024 issued a circular mandating all banks, mobile money operators and payment service providers to implement a new cybersecurity levy. following the provisions laid out in the Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Amendment Act 2024. According to the Act, a levy amounting to 0.5% of the value of all electronic transactions will be collected and remitted to the National Cybersecurity Fund, overseen by the Office of the National Security Advisor, while financial institutions are required to apply the levy at the point of electronic transfer origination. The deducted amount is to be explicitly noted in customer accounts under the descriptor Cybersecurity Levy and remitted by the financial institution. All financial institutions are required to start implementing the levy within 2 weeks from the issuance of the circular, while by implication the deduction of the levy by financial institutions should commence on May 20th, 2024. Socio-economic rights and accountability projects, as well as a not-for-profit organization, Budget, and 136 concerned Nigerians have filed a lawsuit against the Central Bank of Nigeria over its failure to withdraw the cybersecurity levy. In what was described as an unlawful circular, the plaintiffs in the suit at the Federal High Court, Lagos State, the complainants asked the court to determine whether the CBN circular dated 6 May 2024 directing financial institutions to deduct from customers' accounts a cybersecurity levy is unlawful and therefore ultra-vires the CBN rules. A statement issued by SERAP's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare on Sunday through a circular, the Apex Bank instructed all commercial, merchant, non-interest and payment service banks, among others, operating in the country to start charging a cybersecurity levy on transactions. The CBN noted that in compliance with the enactment of the Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention (ETC) Amendment Act 2024, under the provision of Section 44 of the Act, a levy of 0.5%, equivalent to 0.5% of all electronic transactions valued by the business specified in the second schedule of the Act, is to be remitted to the National Cybersecurity Fund, which shall be administered by the Office of the National Security Advisor. They also demanded that the CBN, its office agents, privies, assigns, or any other persons acting on its instructions from enforcing the circular dated 6 May 2024, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice filed contemporaneously in this suit, be restrained. Federal government says it will be receiving fresh loan funding from the World Bank after approval for the loans totaling $2.25 billion on June 13, 2024. The funding will be received via 2 major development projects, and the first project is the Nigeria Reforms for Economic Stabilization to Enable Transformation Development Policy financing, which is set to receive $1.5 billion. The second project, NG Accelerating Resource Mobilization Reforms Program for Results, has proposed funding of $750 million, and the government might reintroduce previously suspended telecom tax and other fiscal measures in pursuit of securing the $750 million loan. The package, approved by the Board of Directors of the World Bank, offers a 40-year term with a 10-year moratorium and a nominal 1% interest rate. According to program information documents posted on the International Lender website, the 2 projects aim to enhance Nigeria's economic stability and resource mobilization capabilities, and the funds will bolster Nigeria's efforts in reforming economic policies and enhancing government resource mobilization, essential for the country's long-term financial sustainability and economic resilience. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo has inspected the recently installed facilities at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Makia, in Kano, ahead of the inaugural flight of intending pilgrims. A statement by Tunde Moshood, the Special Assistant on Media and Communications to Keyamo, said before the inspection, Keyamo, who visited Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State, urged him to facilitate the installation of a dedicated power line at Makia to address low power outage. Moshood said the minister also appealed for the state support in acquiring 2 additional generating plants to supplement the electricity supply at the airport, ensuring uninterrupted operations for pilgrims. He also expressed gratitude for the hospitality and support extended by the Kano state government and reiterated the ministry's dedication to enhancing aviation infrastructure across Nigeria. Nigerian Customs Service has signed a memorandum of understanding with the General Administration of Customs of the People's Republic of China to foster a bilateral relationship for the enhancement of economic growth. A statement by Customs spokesperson Abdullahi Maiwada said the feat was achieved when the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, led some of his management team to Shenzhen, China, highlighted the significance of knotting bilateral affiliation with China will boost the two countries' import-export operations and favor the businesses of MESMs in Nigeria. The Comptroller General of Customs extolled the Vice Minister of the General Administration of Customs of the People's Republic of China, Wang Lingjun, for showing interest in signing MOU with the Nigerian Customs Service. He also applauded the recent exponential rise in the development of e-commerce, while a lot of Nigerian companies and SMEs take advantage of the opportunities aided through e-commerce. Adeniyi expressed optimism that the Memorandum of Understanding will serve as a critical component of cooperative security and trade relationship between the two nations' custom agencies. You are still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Now to international tidbits. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated the President-elect of the Republic of Chad, Mahamat Deby, on his election victory and has promised to muster support for his administration. A statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuru Ngelale, Tinubu assured Deby that Nigeria will continue to work closely with Chad as both countries seek to enhance peace, security, and shared prosperity for the mutual benefit of their peoples. This is coming after, on Thursday, May 9th, Chad's Electoral Authority released provisional results which showed Deby winning with over 61% of the vote, while the runner-up and main rival, Prime Minister Success Masra, garnered only 18.5% of votes and has since contested the results. In his message to the President-elect, Tinubu affirmed that the successful conduct of elections in the nation underlines the commitment of the government and the people of Chad to democracy and orderly transitions in the region, and also called for sustained friendly cooperation between both nations while wishing the President-elect success as he undertakes this noble service to the people of Chad. The elections in Chad held on May 6, 2024, marked a pivotal moment as the country seeks to transition from military to democratic rule following the death of a longtime leader, Idris Deby, in April 2021, and his son, Mohammed Idris Deby, took over leadership under a transitional military council and later became a central figure in the elections, pledging to continue his father's legacy. 34 people are feared dead and 16 more missing after floods on Sumatra Islands in western Indonesia. The spokesperson for the West Sumatra Disaster Mitigation Agency said until now data shows that 34 people have died. He also said they are still searching for 16 other people in 2 districts in West Sumatra province. UK Foreign Secretary says ban on selling arms to Israel would only strengthen Hamas. Lord Cameron, who disclosed this, said he would not support a major ground offensive in the Gazan city of Rafah. The UK supplies just 1% of Israel's weapons and warned that Israel must do more to protect civilians and allow humanitarian aid through. Labour's Jonathan Ashworth condemned British-made arms used in Rafah, while the UN says more than 80,000 people have fled Rafah since, with Israeli tanks reportedly massed close to built-up areas. Israel said it will proceed with planned operations in Rafah, despite the U.S. and other allies warning that a ground offensive could lead to mass civilian casualties and a humanitarian crisis. It is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has pledged to eliminate Hamas battalions he claims are based in Rafah. Russia is blaming a Ukrainian strike after an entire section of an apartment block collapsed following an explosion in Belgorod. At least 17 people have been hurt, and there are reports of fatalities and also people trapped in the rubble. The Russian city is near the border with Kharkiv in Ukraine, where Putin's troops launched an offensive. The Belgorod region has often been targeted by Ukrainian forces since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, but there has been no word from Ukraine on the latest incident, while officials in Kyiv said Ukrainian strikes, including those on Belgorod, do not target civilians. But the regional governor of Belgorod, Yashevlav Gladkov, accused Ukraine of bombarding the region, describing the cause of the explosion as a Ukrainian shell. And now to sports news. The new Super Eagles head coach, Finidi George, on Monday. Finidi will be unveiled at a media briefing in Abuja. Newly appointed Super Eagles coach Finidi George has penned an emotional farewell message to the management, coaches, staff and supporters of Enyimba. Finidi will end his 3-year stay with Enyimba this week. Finidi led Enyimba to win the Nigeria Premier Football League title last season and left the club with a chance to retain the championship as they are third in the standings, 4 points behind leaders Enugu Rangers with 6 rounds of the matches to the end of the campaign. Nigeria's Toby Amusan stormed to a big win in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the Jamaica Athletics Invitational on Super Falcons midfielder Christy Uchebe has been distinguished Benfica Firmino's Portuguese league title success. Benfica won the title after claiming a 2-1 victory against Racing Power on Saturday night. Carol Costa was the hero for Benfica as she grabbed the brace in the encounter, while Costa struck first from the penalty spot in the 38th minute. Racing Power equalized through Lucia Lobato 5 minutes from time, and Costa sealed the win with another penalty in stoppage time. Now to entertainment news. In honor of Mother's Day, acclaimed Nigerian artist Jamirie has launched her latest music, Commando, known for her soul-stirring melodies and empowering anthems. Jamirie's name is synonymous with authenticity and advocacy. With Commando, she continues her tradition of delivering powerful messages through her music. Amidst a musical landscape often saturated with mediocrity, Jamirie stands tall as a beacon of authenticity and empowerment. Commando isn't just a track, it is a celebration of resilience, strength and unyielding determination. Jamirie describes Commando as a tribute to the courage and independence inherent in every woman. It serves as a reminder that women are